The man in black. Yes. Look at me, head to toe. Well, not head to toe, but almost head to toe, without disclosing too much information. Thank you once again. Here we are, Thursday, June 27th, 2024. And it's Steve Bannon, in honor of Steve Bannon, in the year of our Lord. You know what? This is a big day. It is really a big day. It's a big day for so many reasons, and we're going to try to, talk a little bit about that today. I was going to use the proverbial word that seems to be thrown around a lot, unpack. Well, we're not unpacking anything. In fact, if you've been able to catch any of the coverage of Joe Biden taking off from Camp David and landing, he's not looking very good at this particular time. He's a little wobbly in the knees coming off of Air Force One. I'm looking forward to seeing Trump bouncing off of Trump Force One and coming down the ramp, a full ramp, not just the backdoor 10-step ramp that Joe Biden's using. But the title of the show today is "The CIA Colluded with Biden Campaign in 2020 to Mislead American Voters." And just before the show started, Ryan, who will be here in a second, he's in studio. I just have to click him on, but he will be on stage here in a minute. Ryan and I were talking about it. Everyone says there was no voter fraud. Show us voter fraud on a mass basis. Well, first and foremost, it doesn't have to be on a mass basis. However, to get 81 million votes, something happened. And would they even be able to duplicate that in 2024? Voter fraud is just a tip, a small scratch of the underlying picture. And that's what we're going to expose today before we get to the debate, which is really the big news. Obviously, tonight, 8:30 Eastern time. That's when I'm encouraging you to go and view it through Dan Bongino on Rumble. Please, whatever you do, utilize that platform. It's so needed just to continue this parallel economy. We already understand what we're up against. Part of what we're up against is the title of this show. The CIA colluded with the Biden campaign in 2020 to mislead American voters. Where did I get that from? My wife, who probably will be jumping on here shortly, she's doing some training, PC training. She was concerned that mentioning that would put me on some type of watch list. Well, I don't know if that necessarily puts us on a watch list. Ryan, there he is, Ryan Mack of the Ryan Mack Show. I don't know if that puts me on a watch list, Ryan. I don't know if you could read that. I hope the audience can. Thank you once again, everybody that's shown up early. Always appreciate you here on YouTube, Twitter /X, Rumble, and Facebook. That's pretty clear. That comes from the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee headed up by Jim Jordan. This is a press release 2 days ago. Hey, Ryan, tell me, did that come through on your portals or your channels that you usually tune into?
Nope, must have missed that one.
So, wow, while we are hearing all of the fodder and all of the rumblings and all the chatter about tonight's debate, here's something that has real implications, because Joe's ability to stay awake or to stand up or to navigate any of the questions from the rigged moderators of CNN at tonight's debate really pales to what has been released that seemed to get no coverage. I mean, you can read that, right?
Yeah.
This isn't yours truly just making something up in order to get on a watch list of the CIA or the FBI or any of the other intelligence agencies. New information shows the CIA contractors colluded with the Biden campaign to discredit Hunter Biden's laptop story. It goes on to say, and I need to pull it up here because my I can't read the smaller print, but the report reveals new information detailing how the highest levels of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, up to the including then CIA Director Gina Haspel, uh, were made aware of a public statement on the Hunter Biden emails by 51 former intelligence officials prior
Hmm.
to its approval for publication. It goes on to say the report reveals. Uh, oh, I just. Oh, I'm bumping it up here. Let me see if I can go back. I have no idea what I just did. Once again, I'm so good. That went to the political article. I don't think I want to read that. I'm getting rid of that. There we go. The report reveals important new facts, such as how some of the statement's signatories, including former Deputy CIA Director Michael Morrell, were on active contract with the CIA at the time they issued the Hunter Biden statement to discredit damaging allegations about Biden family influence peddling just weeks before the 2020
Hmm.
presidential election.
Sounds like the CIA director knew about all this and didn't let it out.
Here's what Jim Jordan said. We knew that the rushed statement from the 51 former intelligence officials was political maneuver between the Biden campaign and the intelligence community. Now, with the interim report, we reveal just to interject here. Ryan, do you think this is going to come up during the debate tonight? How quickly
It
do you think they're going
should.
to shut this down? I
They'll
hope
shut
Biden
down
shows up.
immediately.
I hope that Trump shows up. Of course, he's not supposed to bring any props,
I
but I hope he
do
shows
anyway.
up with this actual article and says,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know about you guys, but I think we should talk about this tonight. Is this going to be part of the questions? If not, I'd like to submit this to the moderators at this time that we should probably discuss this.
Yeah, that would be a topic that should be important to bring up because notably, Biden said it was a lie and it was Russian disinformation the last debate they had.
Well, and let's not forget that Jeremy Bash, who happens to be the husband of Dana Bash, one of the moderators, was one of the 51 intelligence sources. You can't
You,
even begin to fathom this. Folks, this is the beautiful thing about living in the light. See, all is exposed. If you're walking in the darkness, just flip on the light, carry a light. The light's within you, obviously. When things seem so desperate and dark, they're really not, because the light is eternal. Darkness is momentary. In fact, darkness, obviously, as I covered before on my show, really doesn't exist because it's just the absence of light.
yep.
So shine your light. But anyhow, Jim Jordan goes on to say, now the interim report, we reveal how officials at the highest levels of the CIA were aware of the statement, and CIA employees knew that several of the so-called former officials were on active contract with the CIA. The report underscores the risk posed by the weaponized federal government. I don't even know. Mike Turner below says the House Intelligence Committee's work provided us with solid direct evidence that in the final weeks before, once again, not after, weeks before the 2020 presidential election, 51 former intelligence officials coordinated with the Biden campaign to falsely cast doubt on the explosive New York Post story and label Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop as Russian disinformation. How can we believe any of these people, especially Jake Tapper and Dana Bash?
Yeah, the 51 experts, like the 16 experts that said Trump was going to blow up the economy if he got elected again.
Yeah, the Economist. The
They're
Economist.
so-called experts, not really expert at anything other than lying.
The committee worked to obtain classified documents from the CIA, including emails, and fought to include evidence of these materials. Bottom line is, they lied to us. It was fixed. It was rigged. I won't even, as I have said since the beginning, when I was on the radio station at Cities 92.9, I will not refer to Joe Biden as the president of the United States. I refer to him barely as the vice president.
He is the resident of the White House. Currently.
Without question. And now this is very damning. And I hope that it does come up tonight, Ryan. I
Wonder how many other heads of department agencies knew what was going on. This is just the CIA. We knew the
Yeah.
CIA It's evolved a lot of things in our history that we're learning. But the FBI, the DOJ as a whole, I mean, where is everybody else at during this time?
Well, we know where they are, isn't it fascinating as we go back in time? And I encourage you to go and watch any of the speakers at the Faith and Freedom rally. Specifically, there's a couple that are really good. In fact, I just had one the other night. Let me look at. I have to rattle the brain a little bit because it came through last night, and I took time to quickly review it from my friend John. He sent it to me. There it is. It is Monica Crowley in Faith and Freedom, and her speech was pretty impressive because she does the whole thing about the neo-Marxist movement that started, and it didn't start here, under Obama or under Biden. It started 100 years ago,
Yeah, yeah,
and especially during the 1930s, maybe a little bit before. She alludes to that. They have strategically they knew that America, as it stood as a country, could not be defeated with their constitution in place as a constitutional
yeah.
republic.
Mhm.
Therefore, the only way to destroy America was to do it from within, not from the outside. So that started many years ago, and we've seen it. That hence is what we call the progressive movement. I
Yep.
know today we call it liberalism, we call it socialism, we call it
Yeah.
Marxism, communism, but the real term of it truly is neo-Marxism, but it truly also is the progressive movement. Progressive, meaning we don't have to gain a lot of ground at any given time. We just need to gain a little.
Mhm.
And that's what they've done. They have slowly, slowly eroded the foundation of our freedoms, the foundation of our constitutional republic. And they took over in the means that we refer to always. They got into the school systems.
Yep.
They went after the children, which, once again, they went after the economy, they went after government, they went after Hollywood, they went after all of the pillars of what makes America great.
Yep.
So when we refer to making America great again, that's what we mean. And it
Yep.
goes into the Wayback Machine almost 100 years. Truly, literally just prior to World War I, well, between World War I and World War II. That's when the whole I believe, was launched. And
Yep.
yes, the Soviet Union was involved in it. Um, the China is involved in it now. Modern day Iran, Pakistan, uh, Afghanistan, any of your Islamic countries have also colluded with, unfortunately, our CIA, our FBI, our intelligence agencies.
Yep.
They truly have a dream that America shouldn't be the shining star on the hill. Not to say that it is the New Jerusalem, because it's not. We know that there's a New Jerusalem, in that
Mhm.
ultimately Jerusalem in of itself and Israel is that holy place of holy places. But yet we were set apart for a reason. And I truly believe, and I do believe this wholeheartedly, President Trump is the person for such a time as this. And God's hand will move. And somebody says, well, does that mean that God was moving his hand when Obama was elected?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I go back to my example of what I referred to as Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
You can fool the system at any time,
Mhm.
and that's what happens. Goodness never has manifested itself. If you think there was anything good about President Barack Obama's tenure as 8 years in the presidency, you're crazy. The economy is so far away from where it was truly at during the 1950s, 60s, 70s.
Yep. I would say probably the downfall spiral of the economy started in 2008. The pinnacle crushing of what we known as the capitalistic free market economy, that what made us our strength, probably started off the cliff in 2008. That's kind of when it hit its peak. Now Trump revived it, and he did some red tape cutting that helped, but you see the backslide again with another Obama like policy, cramming down your throat. They hate the capitalistic way of doing things as an economy. They want socialized medicine. They want socialized schooling. They want socialized everything. They want the government to be your savior and to take care of everything. You can trust and put your faith in the government. That's what this new ideology wants you to do. And if we let it, we will not have the things we've enjoyed the last 200 plus years. That's the only one way to fix it is to vote. Republicans are never going to be the solution to all your problems. But the Democrat Party, as currently built, is going to cause your problems, and you're going to cause your problems in the future. Yeah, I heard the big lie recently that is promulgated again that the party switched. Now Republicans are racist and pro-slavery. The party switched probably 1,500 people back then in the Civil War era. They switched positions on business. Big business Democrats are now the party of the big business and the elite and the big tech and the money grabbing. Are there some swampy Republicans enjoying the big business? Yes. But as an ideal party goal right now, the Republican Party is for the small businesses. They are for the faith and the church building up again. They are for less government involvement in your life. And you can make any argument you want about against that, but that's the ideology of the parties today. That's where we're at.
Well, here she is. I went ahead. Thank you, Ryan, for
Yeah.
filling this in, and I appreciate you, expounding upon exactly where we currently are. Oh, hold on, I've got a commenter here, a couple commenters. That would be your wife, so I wanted to get it up there. They want something that has never been successful. It's absolutely insane. Hey, and my shout out to my friend, Irma Vance. Thank you, Irma. Amen. Amen. My friend Irma Vance. Look at that smile on Irma. You know what? When you have I will tell you, I don't need thousands of people to be watching the DPB show. You know, if God willing that happens someday, Ryan and I'm sure will welcome it. But right now, it's just good to have people who we truly care about, the ones that we love, interacting with us, participating in the DPB show. And because this thing goes on and on, it never goes away. The video stays up and it's published. But I just definitely shout out to Irma. Thanks, Irma, for being here. But let's get it from Monica directly, because this is pretty impressive.
Happy to be back at Faith and Freedom,
mute.
and I
Where's
want to thank Ralph,
unmute,
hero of the Republic,
what's going on? Irma, hold
for
on.
inviting
Monica,
me back
what's
this
going
year.
on? Says unmute.
This conference, right?
Yeah,
Faith and Freedom. You can have faith without
volume?
freedom, but you cannot have
You do?
freedom
I don't.
without faith.
Yeah, I can hear it.
And you certainly cannot
can't
have
hear. What's going
American
on?
freedom without faith.
You're here?
So I am blessed and honored to be here today.
I wonder
and I
why
want to
I can't
thank all
hear.
of you for being here as well, for caring
Hold on
enough
for a second.
about
Let me see here.
your country
'Cause
and the
I'm
future
missing
of
it
this
then.
country to be here today. I want to talk today a little bit about hinge moments.
Yeah.
American exceptionalism.
Well, that's the next video. I jumped to my Mark Robinson video. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out what was going on, because that's freaky that I can't hear it, but Ryan, you could?
Yeah, and we had another comment saying they could too. So it must have been something on your end that you couldn't hear it. Was it coming through another end? Because you unmuted my mic earlier before we started. Did you hit something on your end that mute like the volume when you play something?
I didn't. You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna stop the screen. I'm gonna go back up here, and I'm going to see if this will allow me to go in reverse. It doesn't, so I'm gonna go over here. Well, see how it is? Technical difficulties. Now the thing's wanting to lock up. How do I go back to Monica? There she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no, because it just fast forwarded again. Okay, let me say. Oh, I love it. Mark Robinson and Monica at the same time. Let me see if I can present her back on, share it. And by the way, Senator Joe McCarthy was right. Isn't that amazing how it takes a few years? I don't want to hit that again, because I think that it'll. Okay, let's see if I add her to the stage if she's
without
talking.
faith. And you
hear her?
certainly cannot
No,
have
I don't hear her.
American freedom
That is really
without
weird.
faith.
But you hear her.
So
Yeah.
I am blessed and honored to be here today. And I want to thank all of you for
Oh,
being here
man.
as well, for caring enough
You know
about
what?
your country and the future of this country to be here today.
Okay, well, it's good
I
to
want
know.
to talk today a
And
little bit
maybe
about hinge
it's
moments.
because it's playing on
American
YouTube right now
exceptionalism, American
that I'm
destiny
live.
is built on
I wonder if
hinge
that
moments.
has something to do
Moments
with
in American history.
Would that be possible that it wouldn't allow me to
Play a YouTube
interact?
video. Well, if
Yeah.
you searched it at a different, it wasn't really. Was it on YouTube that you were searching the video?
Yeah.
I've never. Yeah, I don't know. There might be some sound
Well,
issues.
I'll know not to do that again. I just went back to grab it because that's someone sent it to me. That's where they grabbed it from.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we got plenty of stuff. But Monica Crowley, that's the name of the video. Go to YouTube. It's, by the way,
Hey,
Senator Joe.
you monkey buttoned your camera again.
That's all right.
Yeah, so Monica Crowley was speaking. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So whatever is going on with the sound on your end, the audience could probably hear it. You just can't. I'm not sure if there was something tech wise. This is why we need to hire a producer. Maybe like $5 an hour.
Well, I thought that I'm working on getting my wife in here, but now I've got a lot of buttons. You're right, because I moved over there. But don't worry, I'll get my camera back on here.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's the wrong camera, but that shows the rest of the studio.
There you go.
In all of its fullness. Hold on, let me go to my settings and make sure that I know what it is. It's the camera. I turned the camera off because I tried to reset the camera. There, did it work?
It's probably reloading. You're still stuck on computer.
You got to love it when you have real-time computer problems. There we go. Look at that.
Now you're cooking with oil.
Well, you can tell the difference of the laptop camera and that official. It makes me look so much better. I look 10 years younger. Anyhow, as I was trying to say, Monica Crowley, by the way, Senator Joe McCarthy was right. The Faith and Freedom conference that just took place, Mark Robinson actually goes on right after her. Dynamic look at that. We kind of played a little bit from Mark Robinson when he did the DEI, where he said, yes, we need discipline, excellence, and intelligence. But I do have another video that I want to share with us because I think it's important that we realize this. As we said from the beginning, as I said from the beginning of the show, if you're wondering where you should go and watch tonight's debate, there it is. The Dan Bongino.
Go to Rumble.
Go through Rumble. And as you can see up in the corner, it says Truth Social. That's how I roll. Folks, I'm not spending a lot of time on Facebook, even though we do Facebook Live. I am slowly gravitating and finding my habits are changing too.
Yep.
With how I'm interacting with the different platforms, especially in light of what took place yesterday. Ryan, what took place yesterday? A little decision out of the Supreme Court. Put you on the stump.
The big tech censorship, was that one?
Yeah, that would be the one. 6-3.
Yeah. So the Supreme Court allowed us, and I went live with that.
I did hear a funny one, Ryan. I'm gonna give this to you.
Did you?
So somebody refers to Amy Coney Barrett as Amy Coney Island.
That's a good one. So I talked about this last night. I went live for a special preview of the debate a little bit, and I went into some of the cases. But just pay attention to that case alone that they handed down. They determined that the states suing that said that the Biden administration was censoring Americans on social media. They said that those states lack standing. And the three dissenters were Alito and Gorsuch and Thomas. So once again, Barrett signed with the majority. They just basically punted this down the road and what should have been heard easily. How do states that had actual people sue to say that they were censored online lack standing? That standing decision that they always punt it down the road is something that needs to be changed. It's too narrow of a rule. The Supreme Court takes up cases. This was a landmark case that should have been heard, and then you have them just kicking down the road.
as
But
you
this
can hear.
basically, this is just saying that for now, until they decide on it again, the Biden administration, right before an election, can go ahead and go full stop in censorship mode right before the election. That's
I'm
where it's
sorry
at.
that I blasted in on you, but I was
No,
trying
it's
to
fine.
load my next video because I think this is a good one. This is Joe Biden arriving in Atlanta, and you
Did he fall
oh
up the stairs?
no, hold on, hold on. It's better. It's better because look at this. Watch Joe. Well, this is another one.
To what Trump is saying and vice versa?
That is going to be up to the people in the control.
Of your report with regard to whether or not the cameras will be on both people. So will we see the reactions from Biden
goes
to
in for
what
the
Trump
smell.
is saying and vice versa?
Oh my God! What kind of kiss on the forehead was that?
The people in the control.
Of your report with regard to whether or not the cameras will be on both people. So will we see the reactions from Biden to what Trump is saying and vice versa?
That is going to be up to the people in the control.
Of your report with.
I mean, you can almost put those on a loop, and it's comical.
A cheap pick. That's from Fox News. That wasn't edited at all.
No, he went right in for the sniff. He said, "There's hair. I can't help myself."
A Halloween costume for this year. The Joe Biden sniffer with a giant nose.
The big nose. Follow the nose. It always knows. It's kind of like the Fruit Loops commercial. Joe Biden on the smell. Joe Biden for. What are you going to smell next? But anyhow, I was hoping that there would be some new content out there on the arrival. I'm going to run over to Truth Social real quick and just kind of search to see if indeed something came up with Trump's arrival, because I think it's cool to see, real time, right?
Yeah.
When he's arriving at Atlanta, Trump Force One, Fox News.
Doesn't really post much.
Hold on, there's somebody. Oh, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna have to add this to the screen because this came up on. Oh, wow! I had a lot of screens hitting at the same time. I do have a few tabs open up. I'm gonna get rid of this tab because that doesn't make sense. I have no idea where my. I'm having a tough time, but you're right. It's letting me operate.
I think it was the same in the studio and the radio too.
Well, I had occasions. I had moments, great moments. Let me see. How does one get back to where he was at? Let's see. I'm sure I'm behind here somewhere. There I am. I'm all by myself down here. I got to move it up to. There we go. Jeez, I knocked one of the tabs off when I was trying to. You guys
live streaming.
have fun with it because it is the magical mystery tour. Here, this one is what I wanted to share.
Okay.
And it's I think it's basically, this is off of Truth Social. This is Trump's page. Mr. President, I am sure that the climate question will come up during your debate this week, and I suggest the following talking points. Andrew Wheeler.
Yep.
I'm going to run the talking points through because I think it's important that we have a good. Under my administration, CO2 emissions went down, and at the same time, we became more American energy and dominant, which helps Americans at the gas pump and with their electricity bills. We can do both. Biden just increased the energy costs for everyone. Biden also rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. All that does is send American dollars overseas to benefit other countries like China. Because of Biden's climate and tariff policies, everyone is buying Chinese solar, whatever, panels instead of American energy. Under my administration, we will continue to reduce CO2 and focus on American-made energy. There you go. If you get pushback during the rebuttal from Joe.
Yep.
Joe Biden. Everybody wants to have sex with me, Joe Biden.
There's one argument that they make that they said, I've seen it on Twitter too, that we're producing more energy now than we ever have at any point in history.
Yeah.
But yet we're not seeing the results of that. So are we really producing as much energy as the Democrats are saying we do? Like, we're not pumping as much oil domestically. We're
No.
reserves to China, and we're getting oil from overseas, from countries that hate us.
Are they talking about crude? So now we are in a full-out blitzkrieg on creating more crude oil. So you're right. We are creating oil at a rate that we never had, but that came because we depleted our emergency resources, strategic resources of oil. And suddenly Joe's like, oh boy, that wasn't wise. So we depleted that. So then he had to figure out how he was going to replenish that. Joe Biden is shutting down U.S. energy, canceling pipelines.
That's why it happened. 3 days of gas prices.
Well, it says if you push back during the rebuttal and you need another point, Joe Biden is shutting down U.S. energy, canceling pipelines, stopping federal leases. We need the energy. That means we are importing more energy from countries that aren't our friends. When you transport gas halfway around the world, it means more CO2 emissions. I mean, these are just basic concepts and points that, oh, here you go. Look at this. Trump crushes Biden big with 10-point lead. If you're going in, a point was made today, and I thought it was interesting that Bongino brought this up because it is true. Trump really, and we had talked about this on Tuesday. What does he really have to say? I would let most of it just play out. I understand that's hard because Trump usually, when he's in the room, wants to be in control of where things are at.
This is his arena, but he needs to act like Joe is not even in the room and look the camera right in the eyes and talk to the American people. Because Joe is going to say that he's racist, he's a Nazi, and then he lies about everything, and that 51 agents said that this was fake laptop, and I had the best economy ever, even though the economy has blown up since Joe Biden took office. And inflation was 9% at its peak under Joe Biden. It was 1.4 when Trump left office. Trump needs to ignore any of that and just speak right to the American people.
And I know that the billboards greeting in some of the areas that are en route to where the debate's going to be at CNN studios. I know that they were coming out and pointing out again that he's a felon because I think that that's so successful for them that they continue to point out that he's a felon, that we want to welcome you to Atlanta for the first time now that you're a felon, whatever. I mean,
he opened up a 10-point lead because he's a felon now. So congrats, Democrats.
Oh, yep. American Farm Life says her speech was awesome. Everyone should watch it. Yes, Monica Crowley, once again. I'm queuing this up because I think it also is something that needs to be talked about. And I was going to try to reach out to my friend Darren Bailey and see if he would join us today, because he has a lot that he is, he's been on vacation for 10 days with his grandchildren, 4 oldest grandchildren.
Seen the photos, they're pretty awesome.
And it just, once again, something that you don't see from most politicians or people who have run for an office like Darren did in running for governor of Illinois. But it's, it just, let's see if I can add it to the stage. Here it is right here. His comment that he put up this morning. Well, actually, this says 20 hours ago. So it was yesterday. You probably already know this, and you're probably tired of hearing it. But there are some issues here we have to understand and deal with if our conservative values are ever going to take root. Adam, and he's referring to Adam Kinzinger because the little meme below shows Adam endorsing Biden. Adam was left unchecked for so long, he started believing all this nonsense for popularity and fame. Darren, I disagree with you on that because Darren sees Adam as a political creature. I saw Adam as a high school student here where I live locally in the Bloomington Normal area, McLean County, Central Illinois. I knew Adam as he came out and he was a young man running for county board. Adam has always been pretty much an opportunist. and has always lacked a lot of substance. When you talk to him, it doesn't surprise me that this guy is shifty as Adam Schiff. In fact, he sides with Adam Schiff, the J6 Unselect Committee. But he started believing all the nonsense for popularity and fame. One of the big reasons I ran for Congress was my congressman, referring to Mike Bost, who Darren ran against and narrowly within 1,000 votes, lost to Mike Bost, worked with Adam to ban bump stocks. Darren obviously believes in the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, and that's what he goes on to say. A ban that infringed on my Second Amendment rights.
Yep.
And the ban that was recently overturned by SCOTUS.
Yep.
As we hold weak Republicans accountable and slowly replace them, leaders stand for. It's important to know that our leaders stand for, and if they are truly standing at all, it's happening. Mark Shaw and Don Tracy have resigned. They are fine men, but terrible leaders. They seemed to oppose me all the way in November of 22 when he was running for governor. Other talking heads out there are saying we need unifiers. I tried that after the 22 primary. It didn't work. We need a cleansing of every county. And we need leaders who stand firm on life, Second Amendment freedoms, lower taxes, less government, and who certainly support our candidate, President Trump. In the days ahead, I intend to be more vocal about exposing the real show ponies who have no business representing you. It's only going to change, though, if you get involved.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Can't sit there and complain and then not do anything about it. You can't sit there and vote. Like he had come up with several people after his primary and said that thank you so much for running. I wish you would have won. Well, did you vote? No, it made an excuse. If you're not going to do anything about it, then you have no leg to stand on. It is what it is. I got involved probably around the Obama administration. I got tired of seeing things starting to crumble then. So I made it a point to get involved and get educated and vote. And it doesn't take a rocket science to learn who you're voting for. Show up to town meetings, show up to local government meetings, and get to know your candidates. Go to the meet and greets. They're open and accessible everywhere. I've met Darren several times out and about. I talked to you in public too. That's how you get to know people who are in the political sphere. Go up to them and boldly talk to them about what you want them to hear from you. It's how easy it is.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to put this up. I think you tell me what this looks like.
Okay.
When I get it loaded here, but this picture is worth 1,000 words, and I think a lot of people are going to miss the nuance of this. And to see him coming, this is Joe Biden arriving in Atlanta at the airport, and to see him coming off the plane is, I don't know, it's something. I'm gonna let the video. Let me broaden the scope of the video so we can see it. But it. Oh, I'm hearing the audio there. Let me turn that down. Hey, guess what? My audio is back.
Yeah, it must have been the YouTube thing.
Now you kind of went.
So those are those smaller steps again. That's not the front of Air Force One.
Yeah.
That's not the giant grandiose entrance that you made. You see his special shoes? He's got special shoes on too. The anti-slip shoes.
It's almost like he's confused. And
yeah, he doesn't really look confident in where he's going. Which would be kind of par for the course if you're 81.
I don't know if you could hear me say it, but that was really weird because I heard it really loud and I heard you barely muffled. So something's going on in the interaction. Maybe it's like you said, I have too many tabs open.
That could be. Well, I mean, so the entrance of presidents are important. You like to see them kind of come off strong when they enter. It's kind of like the snapshots and sound bites we hear Dan Bongino talk about. It's important. And here you have a limping, confused Biden coming off the back of the press stairs of the plane, making an entrance, getting off. Now, obviously, just heading to the debate, it's not really a huge entrance you worry about a president making. But any other time, the grandioso entrance of a president getting off Air Force One is the front of the plane. Those are the giant stairs. That's kind of the signifies of a strength and leadership getting off a plane. It's come a memorial of a moment. And that just justifies how bad it's gotten and how bad the Democrats are lying in his administration about how he's just full of vigor and he runs around laps around them and that he's fine. He's just has a stutter. He's had that his entire life. You're racist and you're a bigot if you think he's got more than a stutter. The dude's had an aneurysm twice. He's had brain work done. He's had part of his head chopped off to get his brain examined. He's falling upstairs. He can't remember if someone's dead or not when he's on appearances. I don't think that's a sign of a president you should keep electing. I'm just saying.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I don't remember who gave this to me, and I think it really is. Everyone can apply this to their lives, and I really want to apply it to the DPB show. I don't necessarily agree with when people say, "What is my destiny?" Where am I supposed to be? But be careful is entitled this little laminated card that I have, and I have it in the dash of my vehicle. Mm-hmm. Be careful of your thoughts, for your thoughts become your words. Be careful of your words, for your words become your actions. Be careful of your actions, for your actions become your habits. Be careful of your habits, for your habits become your character. Be careful of your character, for your character becomes basically who you are. It says your destiny.
Yep.
And there's something to be said for that. Here, Biden has spent his entire life, or I should say, his entire adult life in politics. Yeah. He's been involved. So he got involved in his late 20s, and he's never known anything else other than
never held a private job ever.
No.
Does no idea what it takes to actually make a living. Trump has his father built the empire. Trump took it to where his father never imagined. He actually worked in a private sector in the real estate business. And he took losses and he learned the hard way how to run a business. Biden's never done anything. This lunch pail Joe thing is just a sham. He's never done anything outside the public sector. That's just he's the epitome of what's wrong in Washington, D.C.
I put this back up because if you're just tuning in to the DPB show, here you see on your screen Ryan Mack, always with me. You can catch Ryan on the Ryan Mack Show.
Yep.
We're on Rumble, we're on YouTube, we're on X, and we're on Facebook. I encourage you to watch us on all platforms, share and subscribe until we're probably kicked off. I don't know, especially after today, whether they will
we'll get YouTube phone calls and knocks on our doors.
Yeah, and once again, for what? This isn't me. Yeah. All I'm doing is having a little time with you as my audience, the DPB show, giving you information that you're not going to see out on the mainstream media sources, whether it's the nighttime news on CNN, MSNBC, CNS, and CNN.
It's pretty sad when you have to go to the Judiciary Committee website to get the information in the press release.
It's a press release.
Yeah.
From the Judiciary Committee of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C.
Something that should be newsworthy.
It's the title of the show. And when you talk about everything about being a sham, when we have evidence, and tonight's debate, we all saw it. I haven't pulled it up. Maybe you can find it quickly, Ryan. Joe Biden telling President Trump at that time that the Biden laptop was Russian disinformation and that he had 51 intelligence sources sign off. And that was just prior to us going to the polls. In fact, Trump himself made light of it. He said, really, Joe? You're calling this Russian, the Russian, Russia again? Here we go again. Russia. And he played that card. how this doesn't come up tonight during the CNN debate. And yes, that's what I called it, the CNN debate, because that's all it is two CNN moderators running cover for Joe Biden,
I've got it queued up whenever you're ready.
Oh, you do? I can go ahead and share it. All right.
Yep. Just you wanted to, I don't know if you were finishing your thought.
No, that was it. I was you've got it. You go ahead and share it and I'll put it up there.
Yep.
Or you can put it up, right?
There we go. I set screen share. So is it on your yet?
Yep. No, it's right there. You want to hit the play button?
Yep. So this is Joe Biden during the 2020 debate. Here he is for 20 seconds saying the laptop was Russian disinformation.
Manufacturing went in a hole.
Excuse me, Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you were number two.
No.
Chris. They said it would take a miracle.
Wait.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
Well, there was a post about it. I'll stop sharing for a minute, but there was a post about it that was the one that he was discussing the laptop.
Well, I think he was discussing it. I think he goes into great detail. He tries setting it up in order to basically.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Well, and he doesn't. I mean, at the end of the day, the reason I put the CIA article up there, and you can go and find it. Once again, the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, the chair. This was just released on Tuesday of this week, on the 25th of 2024. And not one mainstream media source covered it. The CIA colluded with the Biden campaign in 2020 to mislead American voters. Folks, we did cover the fact that the bold, courageous President Trump is walking into a rigged debate. He knows it. We know it. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. I hope somehow, somewhere, this article from the House Judiciary Committee is brought up during the debate tonight. Because once again, if 51 intelligence advisors, sources, if that was a lie, then what is truly truthful about anything in the Biden regime and his time where he is obviously the resident of the White House? I see Ryan's eyes focusing on the screen, so he must be trying to still find it. Hey, Ryan, guess what? Yeah. If you find it, it would be great. We could end with that. I think that I've covered everything that I want to cover, unless you find that. But before we jump off for the rest of the night, because we've all got big nights ahead of us, because I hope you're all going to Rumble and you're all watching on Dan Bongino's show. I'm adding this to the stage. They're not after me.
Yep.
They're after you. I'm just standing in the way. And of course, you know what's going to happen next. After that, I'm going to talk a little bit about where you can get your Trump sign. We need everybody here, whether it's in Central Illinois or abroad, I say beyond, you need to get in line, and they're going fast. You can get them for $10, $75, or $100, but that is your Trump signs are available right there. You see it.
There you go.
Reach out to me. Go to the McLean County Republican Party. There's a QR code there where you can submit your information. If you would like them in bulk, I'd be more than happy to get those to you any way I can. But Trump, make America great again. Let's get out there and put out as many Trump. Let's put Trump signs from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
Yep.
This land is made for you and me, folks. This is our time. This is when we are going to rise up. Tonight's show, it is going to be a show for Dan Bongino, but not for DPB. But tonight's presentation of this fiasco, whatever you're going to call it, the first debate, which it is living up to what Trump said. He was willing to debate Joe Biden anywhere, anytime, any place. And it looks like you found it.
Yep. So this circles back to to quote the famous Jen Psaki, this is going to circle back to saying that here's what Joe is inkling about what he's going to say tonight. But this is in 2020 again, saying to everybody, even Jake Tapper is going to be there tonight, that the laptop was indeed Russian.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying.
It will not look like that tonight.
This is classic Trump. We have 4 days.
What is that? Joe with the mask. What's going on there?
Overwhelming evidence that.
Asking
Can I ask? Is it 50 or is it 51?
54.
He keeps adding to the number. Is it 70 economists or is it 14 or 15? Yes.
Yeah. So it's 50. What was it? 50 intelligence agencies.
Yes.
And then 4 heads of state said it was fake too.
So
yeah, 54
51. If it's 51, like I said, stay tuned, folks. This is gonna be big, Ryan. Where will you be watching it at?
I will probably be right here watching it on Rumble, so I can have a little large screen and pull it up.
Yeah,
I don't know if I was gonna have it with Josh or not, doing his little debate thing, but I want to watch it without interruptions. So,
well, that's my thing, and yeah. I want to tune into Bongino because I think Bongino is going to be on fire.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good.
So I might have it on my laptop, on my TV. I might have 3 different sources, and I'm just chomping at the bit. I think it's going to be fantastic. And finally, before we jump off for the show,
are you going to get your juiced up cocktail to stay up later to watch it? It's about an hour and a half. You might have to ask Biden what he's taking.
It is so past my bedtime, but don't you worry. I am going to prepare. I have a certain little drink that I drink. My wife and I both are drinking it right now. It's a tablespoon of honey.
There you go.
It's 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a little spray of or a little shake, I should say, of cayenne pepper.
Okay.
And then a little turmeric. How do you say that?
Yeah.
Turmeric.
There you go.
Turmeric. That's
I think that's what Biden's taking.
I don't think he's having the same effect. Then you put water in that and you shake it up. And I'm going to tell you right now, it energizes me. It's the best drink. I don't know if that's the Joe Biden cocktail, but it's going to be the DPB cocktail for the night.
You go.
I want to stay up.
Yeah.
I was thinking something else, and it had something to do with tonight, and obviously watching this debate.
Don't give CNN your money. Don't watch CNN. Go to Rumble. Go to Blaze TV. If you have a subscription to Blaze, they'll air it. I think you have a 7-day free trial with Blaze too. You can watch anything, but they'll have it. Rumble is going to play it and live stream it. So
many sources are broadcasting it, but definitely, I know it's a little later, but please tune in. I think it's going to be surprising. I know where I was going. See, I knew I always come around. My wife says I always come around. Tonight, we're supposed to find out who the vice presidential candidate is going to be for Trump.
A few of them are in attendance, or at least they're going to be. That he has.
Well, and I'm really getting a strong feeling that he's chosen Dr. Ben Carson.
Really?
Yep.
I hope that he's not another Mike Pence. I don't think he is.
Have you seen the video of the debate during the primary when Ben Carson's name was announced and we didn't hear it, and he was standing there and everybody else, like Jeb's giving the old glad hand to Trump on his arm, like, get all the way, I'm coming through, Jeb Bush. And Trump came out and he stood next to him. No, I will tell you, of all the cabinet members, and you look at all the cabinet members up and down the list, and guys like Mike Pompeo, my goodness, and you look at the people who are loyal to Trump. Ben Carson at one time was leading that primary for the presidential nomination.
Yeah.
And then when there was a strong surge by Trump, he saw the writing on the wall. And what was the first thing he did? He endorsed Trump.
Yep.
And he never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hear that they have such an amazing friendship.
Yeah.
And he does turn to Ben for a lot of things.
He was such a good HUD secretary, and I think he would be a great VP pick.
I think he is. And yes, I think there is absolutely no way he would be Mike Pence 2.0. He is the opposite of Mike Pence. There's no way that he would even breach, because look at what has transpired, because Mike Pence didn't show the intestinal fortitude to do the right thing, to do what we needed as a nation.
Yeah.
He chose not to do that.
He's well within his authority to do all that, but that's another thing.
No, I'm not saying that he could do whatever he wanted, you know.
So do the congressmen and women that can vote to not choose the electors either. So that's also a thing, but
well, I mean,
let them tell you that.
How about we just buy a little time and we suspend it for 10 days? He had a lot of options of what he could have done.
Yep.
He chose the easy way out. And it doesn't surprise me that there are so many that are aligned with Mike Pence. The Adam Kinzingers, the Rodney Davis, and all these other pretenders, because that's what they are. They're pretenders. And who knows? It's no different than our Supreme Court justices. I don't know the pressure those people are under. I don't know the death threats they've received.
Yep. I think Barrett is extremely afraid of the threats to her family, and she's protective of her family. Not that it's an excuse to not do your job, but I think that has an effect on each of them.
Well, would you put your security in the hands of the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Secret Service, or the CIA?
Nope. The way the Secret Service is rolled now during the raids and stuff. No, I wouldn't.
Here, I don't even want to flash it back up on the screen. The House Judiciary Committee released a press release. The CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, worldwide, colluded with the Biden campaign 2020 to mislead American voters. They knew exactly what the Hunter Biden laptop was, and they chose to deceive us, the people of the great United States of America. Hey, please, by all means, tune in tonight. Watch the debate. We're going to be, we're a little delayed getting all the way to next Tuesday, but by that time, we're going to have so much material that it's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to next Tuesday. Thank you once again for joining us here on this Thursday. Hey, go out, like, subscribe, YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and give us a like, share with everyone. We are looking forward to seeing you next week. I always say this, I love you, but Jesus loves you more. We bid you farewell, and I know that Ryan bids you farewell too.
Yep.
All right. Take care now.